The outcome from this session is for you to build a personal brand, not just for the sake of it, but a personal brand that generates a stream of inbound inquiries for you. How great would that be? Yes, you've got the outbound going on, but you also generate a consistent stream of inbound inquiries. That's the real gold at the end of the rainbow. So let's look at what we do and how we do it. Let me ask you a question first of all. Why would people contact you? Candidates, clients, why will they contact you? Because of my natural charm, personality and overall sex appeal? Well, yeah, go you. Absolutely fantastic. Not my personal experience, but you know, I digress. But why will people contact you? They'll contact you because they have a problem that they think you can solve. I'm assuming, by the way, that we're ruling out people just hitting on you over the DMs. That's a whole different subject. But in the context of potential candidates contacting you, potential clients contacting you, they'll contact you because they believe, from what they've seen on social media, that you can help them solve their problem, whatever that problem might be. And that comes back to what we talked about in one of the previous videos in terms of the funnel. You start out by talking to people at the top of the funnel who aren't aware they have an issue and aren't aware there's any potential solutions to the issue they don't know they have. Middle of funnel, people who know that there are alternative ways of doing things and alternative solutions, but don't really feel they have a problem. And bottom of funnel, people who have a problem and are actively looking for a solution. So your personal brand is designed to take people from, I don't know that I have a problem and I don't know of any solutions, down to, I've got a problem and I'm looking for some help. And that's when they get in touch with you. By the way, in terms of cold outreach, you should be trying to cold outreach to people in the middle of the funnel who are aware that there are alternatives but aren't aware that they have a problem that they're solving yet. Those are the people with whom you should cold outreach. People at the top of the funnel, just keep talking to them and wait for them to move further down. So what you're actually taking them through is a very well-known process. You've probably seen this a million times on social media. You're taking people through the process of know, like, trust, buy. You're taking them from being a complete stranger ultimately to someone that they feel confident spending money with and contacting and putting their career or their business in the hands of. Know, like, trust, buy. That's not the framework. That is just the context and the process that you're taking people through. And by the way, with that in mind, your personal brand is built through primarily social media, possibly ads and putting things out on Google and SEO and all that as well, but primarily in this context through social media. Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, possibly Snapchat if it's still going when we're talking. Social media generally. Now, that means that you are using your message to contact people at top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. You're taking them through know, like, trust and buy. That's enough jargon for now. But can I just ask, at what point in any of that stuff I just described is pumping out 5 job ads a day building your personal brand? Well, it's just not. You know, I mean, how many people actually get to see all of your individual posts? You can have thousands of followers, but your post might only get seen by 200 or 300 people. You know, some of the biggest accounts on LinkedIn will have their posts seen by 500 or 600 people because of the way that the algorithm works. You can put stuff out on Instagram or TikTok, and unless it actually gets taken up, there's not that many people see it, even within your own network. As we're talking now, I've got about just shy of 15,000 followers on Instagram. I'm looking to push that really hard. So hopefully by the time you see this, I'll be in the 20,000s, maybe more, who knows. But the point I'm trying to make is, unless I really get high engagement, even though I've got 15,000 100% kosher, organically built followers, some of my posts only get seen by 500 or 600 people. Some of them only get half a dozen likes. Others will strike a chord with people. They get seen by 30,000 people and pick up 700, 1,000, a couple of thousand likes. But I'm not in charge of that because that's the way the algorithms work. By the way, I've mentioned a few times, it amazes me how few recruitment firms, and especially how few recruitment professionals, are really working Instagram and TikTok. Perversely, I get the majority of my inbound inquiries off Instagram rather than LinkedIn. I know it sounds back to front because LinkedIn is a professional marketing, professional networking platform. Yeah, it's also really dull most of the time, to be honest. Whereas Instagram, you can put stuff out that's more informative, more entertaining. It engages more people, and people is people, no matter what platform they're on. Reach people where they are. Anyway, coming straight back to the topic, the point I was trying to make was stop posting job ads. If you want to post job ads, that's fine. But for goodness sake, mix it up with some other stuff. Mix it up with some educational, informational stuff. Mix it up with some stuff about you. I'll come back to the structure. So, just to give you an example, if you look on my LinkedIn or my Instagram, what's the message? What is it I'm saying? All the way through those. Now, I've been taking it reasonably easy up to this point on LinkedIn and Instagram. I've been sort of building my infrastructure in the business and doing other things. But as of August 2022, which is when I'm recording this, I'm about to put my foot on the loud pedal. So if you're looking at my Instagram or LinkedIn from there on, you should see an awful lot more volume going through. Now, what are those accounts saying? Well, what they should be saying is, I know recruitment, I know about sales, I've helped people just like you to do great things, and I'm human. That's what the accounts are for. Because the structure, and this is the framework that I want you to really embed in here hard. What you want to do is show people you. Let me give you an example. A guy who's almost entirely built his multi-billion-dollar business off social media is Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary V, most people don't really know what he does. Gary V runs ad agencies. He's got his own ad agencies and social media agencies who work for some of the biggest and most successful brands in the world. And Gary V's brand has been built around showing him. And Gary V's personal LinkedIn or his personal Instagram have millions of followers. His company pages, business pages, have a few tens of thousands at absolute most. VaynerMedia, last time I checked, I think it had 25, 30,000 followers on LinkedIn. I could be wrong with that. But the point being that the reason social media works for building a personal brand, the secret is in what I just said. Social media, personal brand. It's about being social and showing you, the person, to other people. Here is the framework that makes social media work. Show you. Explain what you do, how, for whom, and how they benefit. So, show who you are, what you do, how, for whom, and how they benefit. And that is your social framework. That's it. Who you are, what you do, how you do it, who for, and how they benefit. 5 things. So, just as a simple guide, one of the most simple frameworks I know, particularly on something like LinkedIn, is to just split it like that. So, who you are, what you do, who you are Monday, what you do Tuesday, how you do it Wednesday, who you do it for, or for whom you do it on Thursday, how they benefit from it, and a call to action on Friday. There you go, 5 days of marketing. Done. The rest of it is down to a little bit of creative work on your part. But that's it. Social media can be as simple as that. Now, down at the bottom of this page, I've included a guide to how to structure and create a month's worth of social media. Very simple guide, very simple system. You can adapt it based on the platform. I wouldn't often put out the same video or the same content on Instagram as you do on LinkedIn. It wouldn't be appropriate for most people. I do to some degree because I'm talking with individuals. I'm not trying to talk to companies. So if I was trying to sell to businesses, my LinkedIn and my Instagram would probably be very different. But my customers are, well, you. My customers, my dream client is a recruitment consultant who's looking to take their business and their desk to the next level. That's who I try to help. So for me, it's less crucial that I have completely different content on different platforms because I'm selling to individuals. But if you're trying to get companies to know, like, and trust you, and if you're trying to get individuals to know, like, and trust you, you have to put out different messages and on different platforms because they operate different ways. They've got different problems that they're trying to solve. Does that make sense? Fantastic. So the whole system is built around what are the problems that your potential clients or potential candidates facing? What's the cost of not fixing that problem, be it emotional, financial, whatever it may be? And then what's the potential solution? And that is not a single post. That is not a single video. That is 3 different pieces of content. So 30 seconds, a minute, a long form on what's the problem, name it, small, specific issue. What's the cost of not fixing it? What's the solution? And you split down based on problems. Now, the problem, if you pardon the pun, that most people have with this is they go, well, people, what's the problem with my clients? They want really good people that's an economic rate. They want really good people cheap. Yeah, make it smaller. So the problem is the candidates they're getting haven't got enough experience. The problem they have is that their candidates aren't really engaging with them. They've got too many options. Their problem is that candidates' expectations are unrealistic. Their problem is that, whatever it may be, the problem is they've got too many recruiters calling them. Small problems, but lots of them. That's your social media outreach. For candidates, same issue. You don't say they're looking for a better life and a better career so that they can fulfill their dreams. Well, you could do, but what you're better doing is then slicing that down into smaller and smaller pieces. They're looking for more flexibility. They're looking for more support. They're looking for more opportunities. They're frustrated with being micromanaged. Those are all individual problems that you can turn into social media streams, into social media outreach. Does that make sense? What's the problem? What's the cost of not fixing it? Which might be financial or emotional or business related. And what's the solution? That's your context. The only thing you have to do is vary the form to some degree. Put some selfies in there, put some pictures of the office in there, do some straight to camera videos, mix things up a little bit. But the basic structure is always the same. Now, if you get really stuck, I'd be amazed. I'd be amazed if you did. But if you get a little bit stuck, ask your colleagues what problems they think people have. Ask your existing customers what problems they have. Ask your existing candidates or former candidates, or even hell, new candidates, what their problems are, and slice them down as small as you possibly can. If you're really stuck, there's an amazing website. I can't believe it's free. It's called Ask the Public. That's the title, askthepublic.com. It's amazing. Put in a topic and it will just search the web and tell you what the most commonly asked questions are. Brilliant tool. Unbelievable. Can't believe it's free. You've got limited access, by the way. You've got a limited number of searches each day on the free version, but this is the sort of thing you'll only need to do once a year at most. So create that framework. And then all you have to do is follow the system. Show you. Explain what you do, how, for whom, and how they benefit. Now that last one could be testimonials, case studies, examples, stories. It could be anything. There's any number of different ways of showing that. But the thing I'd say to it is, and it was the first point I made, show you. If you are an introvert who reads a lot, who studies, who gets really into a deep dive nerdathon about a subject, you've just described me, by the way. If that's you, put that out on social media. Tell them what books you're reading, what research you've read, what websites you've been visiting, what you've learned. People love that because, you know, some people just go, "Ooh, well, they're a nerd," and that's interesting. Some people will go, "Oh, they're just like me." Some people go, "Oh, what was that book?" and look it up on Kindle. But show you. Because if who you are is going to put people off, it's better to put them off in advance rather than put them off once you're working with them. But the key thing here is by showing people who you are and what you do and how you do it, for whom, and how they benefit from that, you are giving people a deep understanding of what problems you solve and who you solve them for, which means that when they're at the bottom of the funnel and they know they have a problem and they're looking for some help, you're Ghostbusters, as in who they're going to call. It's not the most sophisticated system, but that's because sophisticated systems don't work in this context. You're communicating person to person. You're communicating socially about personal stuff, even if you're communicating from your business to somebody else's business. Social media, personal branding. What do you want people to think about you? What do you want people to know about you? And what problems can you solve? And that simple 5-step framework, who you are, what you do, how, for whom, and how they benefit. That is the real context of your personal brand. Share that consistently. I'm not going to hammer that point. Everybody on social media who talks about social media will say be consistent. My rule for you, if you're not putting out one thing a day minimum on LinkedIn, you're not even trying. If you're not putting out 5 things every day on Instagram, you're not even trying. If you're not putting out 10 things a day on TikTok, you're not even trying. Because those things are increasingly informal. LinkedIn is a bit more formal. So put out 1 curated thing, maybe 2, if they're in different formats. Instagram, you've got to get ahead of the algorithm. So use the hashtag smartly and put out half a dozen things a day. They don't have to be long. They can be 30 seconds, they can be a minute. It can be a selfie with a 200-word post. It can be a selfie with 50 words. It doesn't matter. And TikTok, you've got its volume. Just get the phone, talk to the phone, post it. If people engage with it, you know you're onto a winner. And then you feed that into your Instagram, and then you feed the winner from your Instagram into your LinkedIn. Oh, there's a system. Yes, there is. Bang out dozens of things on TikTok, which will give you a few winners to put onto Instagram, which will give you one winner to put out onto LinkedIn. Oh, there's method in the madness as well as madness in the method. Yes, there is, my friends. Yes, there is. But the structure is always the same. You will have questions, I'm sure. Put them into the Facebook group. If in the unlikely event that there's anything really confidential, DM me on LinkedIn or on Instagram. As always, there is a plan, an action plan that goes with this, which is to draw up a 30-day social media plan. There's a planning tool for you to download and access. But the most important thing is show you and relate you to solving people's problems. That's your personal brand, and that's what generates the inbound. And I'll see you tomorrow, where we're looking at how to build referral-worthy relationships with all your existing contacts so that you have a flood of high-quality referrals coming in consistently to make everything else a lot easier.